Welcome to this deep dive. Today, we're exploring a stack of recent infrastructure reports, economic data, and railway strategy papers to really analyze a colossal economic engine. And that is Indian Railways. So if you are, say, managing supply chains or tracking emerging markets, this is highly relevant for you. Our mission today is to look at exactly how this historic system is rapidly transforming into a high-capacity, technology-driven national business grid.
Yeah, it is a really remarkable transition to observe. Um, when we look at this network, we aren't just looking at a traditional passenger service anymore. We are analyzing a systemic enabler of economic growth that basically connects production centers with consumption hubs and remote border regions.
Right. And to understand the scope, the data points to moving about 1.6 billion tons of freight and 7 billion passengers across the network annually. To put that freight volume into perspective, it's roughly equivalent to moving the weight of thousands of skyscrapers across the country every single year.
And the financial breakdown behind those numbers is where the core business strategy becomes really clear. I mean, the passenger volume is staggering, certainly, but freight is what really pays the bills here.
It drives the actual revenue.
Exactly. It generates about 68% of the total revenue, and coal alone makes up over 40% of that freight volume, which means this network is quite literally moving the energy that powers the nation's industry.
Wait, so if freight is taking up that much space and generating most of the money, how are they keeping 7 billion passengers from being perpetually delayed? I mean, that seems like a massive logistical conflict.
That is the central strategic challenge these reports highlight. And the solution lies in dedicated freight corridors, or DFCs. By physically separating goods trains from passenger lines, they are significantly improving turnaround times. For anyone following global logistics, this is the exact kind of infrastructure leap that signals a major reduction in supply chain costs.
And that separation is well underway, right?
Very much so. Over 96% of the current DFC network is already operational. This separation is critical to supporting their target of moving 3.3 billion tons of freight by 2030.
The expansion isn't just happening on flat terrain either. The reports detail a new 51-kilometer line in Mizoram that actually required building 55 bridges and 45 tunnels. So they aren't just laying track, they are conquering extreme geography. Building that kind of infrastructure shows a clear shift from basic regional connectivity to securing highly strategic, hard-to-reach borders.
We see a similar strategy with the new Himalayan rail link, too. They recently moved 753 metric tons of advanced winter stock on the military's first-ever exclusive freight train. It deeply integrates civilian logistics with defense preparedness, which fundamentally reshapes how resources reach the borders.
Okay, so it is clear freight is driving the revenue and strategic goals, but you cannot ignore those 7 billion passengers. How is the railway balancing the need to move industrial goods with actually upgrading the daily passenger experience?
The capital allocation for passenger upgrades is substantial. The data shows a planned long-term investment of 16 lakh crore rupees, which is roughly $190 billion, aimed at creating nearly 4,000 kilometers of new high-speed bullet train corridors.
That is a massive capital investment.
It is. The flagship project is the Mumbai to Ahmedabad route, and tracking reports indicate it passed 55% overall physical completion in late 2025.
Beyond the headline bullet trains, they are introducing a tiered transit system as well. They have deployed 164 high-speed Vande Bharat trains for premium business transit, alongside lines like the Amrit Bharat for affordable mass transit, ensuring different demographics are served without congestion. Plus, there is the Namo Bharat network designed specifically for high-frequency regional commuting.
And upgrading speed requires a proportional upgrade in safety. The operational data reflects that priority. Consequential train accidents fell to just 11 in the 2025 to 2026 period.
Just 11 across the whole network.
Yes. A significant driver of this improvement is the rollout of Kavach 4.0, which is an indigenous technology that provides automatic braking and improved signal accuracy across the network.
Another key takeaway from these strategy papers is their green transition. They have achieved 99.2% electrification on their broad gauge network. Those are the wider primary tracks that carry the heaviest loads. That level of electrification is actually outpacing several major global players, including China and Russia. Additionally, over 2,600 railway stations are now entirely solar-powered.
It creates a highly efficient transport loop, and they are already funding feasibility studies for the next generation of mobility. In late 2024, they commissioned a 422-meter Hyperloop test track, actively exploring near-vacuum tube technology that could eventually reduce a Delhi to Mumbai journey to just 1 hour.
It is a profound shift from moving basic commodities like coal to testing Hyperloop infrastructure. Which brings us to a final strategic question for you to ponder. As these ultra high speed passenger lines and dedicated freight corridors become fully integrated, how will this inevitably redraw the map for corporate real estate and regional supply chain hubs outside of India's traditional megacities?
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.